I want to give you an example of evil. Some of you know by now that all 16 felony counts against Jussie Smollett was dropped yesterday morning by the Crook County grand jury in Chicago. And this comes just weeks after he allegedly filed a false police report. And Breitbart and TMZ is reporting prosecutors allegedly dropped the charges based on his prior record of community service. The record that was reported consisted of 18 volunteer hours this past Saturday and Monday at the Jesse Jackson Rainbow Push Coalition. And they're calling Jesse Jackson, another lying old so-called civil rights person, a civil and human rights organization. Yeah, we know how that is. Jesse Jackson is clearly a race hustler. He reportedly, this guy, Jussie, some of you may know him as Jesse, what's his name? Jesse. Jussi. Juicy. That's not Jesse. Jesse is Jesse. This guy reportedly stuffed membership envelopes and sold merchandise and helped the organization Saturday broadcast with camera angles and music. After the announcement was made public, Smollett and his attorney held a press conference in Chicago. So my point is, if you're black in America, you can falsely accuse white people. You can falsely accuse Trump supporters and get away with it. And not only did they drop the charges on Jussie Smollett, they sealed the records so that the people in America, in Chicago and America, will not be able to see them. And I'm wondering why. Oh, because they don't want you to know the truth. It was alleged that, and I don't know how true it is, so I say alleged, but I believe it, that Big Mama Michelle called, because she used to be a lawyer or something, but she called the DA or someone connected to the DA or her office called them or something and asked to drop the charges at one point. But I don't know exactly what happened. But I do know that this is wrong. And I know that if a white man had done this to a black man or accused black people of this type of setup, he would not have gotten away. It would be all hell to pay. All hell to pay. It's a different system now for black people and for white people. It's not fair anymore. It's a different system. Black people can attack white people. They can kill them. They can rob them. They can rape them. In some cases, set them on fire and get away with it. But if a white person even mentioned something that a black person did that's wrong, they go into prison. And I have to tell you, this is supposed to be payback to white people. And that's why another reason I say that you're making a horrible mistake by allowing black people to get into our courts, our government, anything to do with the law. Because in their mind, they don't care about being wrong. Most black people, not all, but most black people do not believe in right or righteousness or God. And in their mind, they want to take over the government and the court system in order to pay back white people. And they will not punish black people unless you are a outspoken conservative Republican black who does not agree with all this evil stuff that's happening. But if you are white, a non-black person, you got hell to pay. And if these people take over the government, and they are taking over, they're taking over the court system, black people won't be punished, but white will, even if you haven't done anything wrong. We're going to have in this country what is happening is Mommy South Africa, Mommy Africa. We're going to have here what we have there, where the blacks have taken over the government and they're taking white people land without compensation. They're killing, robbing, raping, murdering white people, even in their own homes, and getting away with it. Because, and I'll get to all of your calls in a minute, but because it's payback. That's the hatred that's in the hearts of black people all around the world. Not all, but most. Around the world. And whites, you're making a horrible mistake by having a false sense of sympathy for black people and just allowing them to get away with everything. Affirmative action, reparations, they get into schools and jobs and all these things without being qualified just because they're black. You're going to live to pay for all this. It's best to do it the right way rather than the false love way. Because all you're doing is feeding into the hatred of most black people. And most black people hate white people. And that's why you see people like Jussie Smollett and others getting away with committing crimes. And you haven't seen anything yet. Black politicians commit crimes and get away with it. It's mind-blowing, folks. I am not surprised that Jussie is walking away from this. He's connected to Obama and all those people. And then I saw the mayor, we have that coming up for you, and the police chief of Chicago holding a press conference. They pretend to be concerned about this decision of letting Smollett go. I'm not sure. Because if they were really concerned, they would tell the truth as to what happened, why they're letting Smollett go. They know the real deal. They know who did what to get Smollett off. And if they really cared about justice or righteousness, they would tell you, well, we had to let him go, and tell you who's behind all of this. They would tell, even at the risk of losing their jobs, they would tell you. Because when you're on the side of righteousness, when you're a man or woman and you do right, you are right, you have faith and do right, God will take care of you. No matter what the world tried to do to you, God will take care of you. It will be amazing. And so I don't trust the mayor or the police chief or any of those people that's not telling you the truth, because they know who did what to get Jussie off. And they know, they probably already knew, I don't know about this, that Jussie was going to get away because he accused white people and Trump supporters. It's amazing. This is from CNN. Smollett claimed to have been truthful the entire time and admitted he would not be his mother's a son, if he was capable of one drop of what? he was being accused of. Here's the soundbite.
I just made a couple notes. First of all, I want to thank my family, my friends, the incredible people of Chicago and all over the country and the world who have prayed for me, who have supported me, who have shown me so much love. No one will ever know how much that has meant to me, and I will forever be grateful. I want you to know that not for a moment was it in vain. I've been truthful and consistent on every single level since day one. I would not be my mother's son if I was capable of one drop of what I've been accused of.
Amazing. I thought he was openly homosexual. How can he be a mother's son? I'm just wondering. I'm just saying out loud. Smollett also said, by the way, we all know this. I don't know if there's anyone on this side of heaven that believes this guy at this point. Smollett also said he was a man of faith, but he didn't say faith in who. I said faith in a lie, in Satan. He said that he was a man of faith who will continue to fight for justice, equality, and betterment of marginalized people everywhere. I have no idea what he's talking about. None, zero. Except that he's lying. Here we go.
This has been an incredibly difficult time, honestly one of the worst of my entire life. But I am a man of faith, and I'm a man that has knowledge of my history, and I would not bring my family, our lives, or the movement through a fire like this. I just wouldn't.
Of course.
So I want to thank my legal counsel from the bottom of my heart. And I would also like to thank the state of Illinois for attempting to do what's right. Now I'd like nothing more than to just get back to work and move on with my life. But make no mistakes, I will always continue to fight for the justice, equality, and betterment of marginalized people everywhere.
What does that mean?
So again, thank you for all the support. Thank you for faith, and thank you to God. Bless y'all. Thank you very much.
And when did he fight for all those things before? He lied, allegedly lied on white people and Trump supporters. So is he saying he'll continue to lie on white people? This is where the police superintendent, Eddie Johnson, and the mayor of Chicago also had a press conference yesterday where they criticized the decision. And I want you to look them in the eyes, these two people, as they're speaking. You can just see that they're not telling what they really know. They criticized the decision and said the city was owed an apology.
You all know where I stand on this. Do I think justice was served? No. Where do I think justice is? I think this city is still owed an apology. And let me digress for a moment. When I came on this job, I've been a cop now for about 31 years. When I came on this job, I came on with my honor, my integrity, and my reputation.
Well, you're not leaving with it.
If someone accused me of doing anything that would circumvent that, then I would want my day in court, period, to clear my name.
And tell us what happened to get this juicy guy off. And watch Mayor Rahm Emanuel. He reminded the press that Juicy was the one who who had originally brought the case forward.
I've heard that they wanted their day in court with TV cameras so America could know the truth, but no, they chose to hide behind secrecy and broker a deal.
What are you playing?
To circumvent the judicial system.
I'm sorry?
You were saying.
What?
I thought you were speaking. You were calling for this D.
No. So we played B, right?
No. We played C.
Oh, we played C.
Yeah.
And I skipped over D?
Oh, that was D right there that was playing.
Oh, I asked for the Mayor Emanuel, but that was the wrong one. Here's the police superintendent also said Smollett wanted TV cameras in the courtroom. All right, my mistake. Go ahead.
I've heard that they wanted their day in court with TV cameras so America could know the truth, but no, they chose to hide behind secrecy and broker a deal to circumvent the judicial system. My job as a police officer is to investigate an incident gather the evidence, gather the facts, and present them to the state's attorney. That's what we did. I stand behind the detective's investigation.
And so watch Rahm Emanuel remind the press, watch his face. You can tell he knows something, but he's not saying. He reminded the press that this Jussie guy was the one who brought the original case forward.
Now, I remind you all, it goes back to also a letter. Now, he brought the case forward. He said he was a victim of a hate crime, both for his sexual orientation and for being black. The evidence came forward. A grand jury saw the evidence, realized this was a hoax on the city, a hoax on hate crimes, a hoax on people of good values who actually were empathetic at first, and he used that empathy for only one reason. Only for one.
Justice after this decision.
Okay, wait.
Ever since I lived in Gary, Indiana, off and on, and I remember as a kid the adults saying that Chicago government was crooked. I have never heard anyone in my entire life say that Chicago had a legitimate, good government. They have always said that it was crooked. This Mayor Emanuel explains how much this incident cost the city of Chicago.
On financial costs, this $10,000 doesn't even come close to what the city spent in resources to actually look over the camera, gather all the data, gather all the information that actually brought the indictment by the grand jury on many, multiple different charges.
And I don't think they care about the cost because these people want to give free money away. They want to give the lazy people in Chicago free money just for being lazy. So they don't care about the cost. The mayor also explained the ethical cost of Jussie Smollett actions.
Second is what I would call the ethical cost. And the ethical cost is you have, as a person who was in the House of Representatives when we tried to pass the Shepard legislation that dealt with hate crimes, putting them on the books, that President Obama then signed into law, to then use those very laws and the principles and values behind the Matthew Shepard hate crimes legislation to self-promote your career is a cost that comes to all the individuals. This is an unbelievable, not just whitewash of justice, this is a person now who's been let off scot-free with no sense of accountability of the moral and ethical wrong of his actions, from top to bottom.
This man can care less about ethics. It's just all talk, just speeches, just words. In our country today, blacks can get away with it, whites can't. It's the way it is, and because you've allowed these people to take over. You haven't seen anything yet. It will get worse before it gets better. You haven't seen anything. It's amazing. Amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the Justin Lee Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.